One of the really cool things about living in London, Ontario is all of the parks, especially the forested parks. So do you see this map here? Do you see all these little patches of trees all over the place? These are all forested parks with walking and hiking trails all through there. We are called in London the Forest City, and the reason is because this was carved out of a forest. But they've left a lot of beautiful parks all over the place that really make this a really cool city to live in. That's one of the pros in this video of pros and cons, and there are some real cons. So I'm going to tell you about that, so you can really measure whether London is the right place for you to move or not. But there's some really good pros as well, including cheaper housing than most of the GTA while still having most of the amenities, okay? So we'll cover all of that here in just a little bit. But I want to continue here talking about the parks because it's a really cool aspect of living here. Springbank Park right here is a large, beautiful park that is filled with people on long weekends and in the middle of the summer. It's just beautiful. London loves this park. So big open green spaces, soccer fields. It's at the side of the river. There's areas that are treed and it feels like kind of like you're in a forest. And then they also have spring or storybook gardens right here in the park, which is like this little amusement park for kids right here. And then they also have like a skating trail in the winter through here with Christmas lights and Christmas music. They have events in Halloween and stuff. Really cool, okay? And they got like little merry-go-rounds and stuff for toddlers and kids. So that's very cool. This park is also just beautiful all through the fall. I love it when the trees change colors. Also, you see all along the river here, all of these pathways are connected past the park. So really, if you wanted to continue walking, you could walk all the way along the river, all the way to downtown. Like you could, and then you could keep going from downtown up to Gibbons Park and all around. Like you could go for 60-kilometer walk if you really wanted to through the city, rarely ever seeing traffic because you're just in parklands the whole time, which is really cool. Also for parks, we've got Komoka Provincial Park right over here. People like to fish through here. There's also some walking trails. It's just another nice nature area. You might see deer or beaver in that area. Other side of the city, way up here, you have Fanshawe Conservation Area with a big lake. Again, people like to canoe and kayak through this and go fishing in there as well. There's also big campgrounds in the area as well. So that's pretty cool. And then there's also off-road biking paths that go all the way around the lake for like 45 kilometers. What else do I need to tell you about parks here? Because I guess we also, it's kind of a park. Bowler Mountain right here. We have a ski hill in the middle of Byron, a neighborhood here that is just awesome to have nearby. It's not great for like adults. Like it's pretty boring because it's only 60 meters tall, so it's like 30 seconds down. But kids love it. It's also a great learner hill. So a lot of parents that live in this area will just get their kids season passes and just say, after school, go skiing. Don't come home and watch TV. Don't stare at your iPad. Go skiing. Go have fun. So that's pretty cool. Really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what corner of the city you're in. Like down here, we have Westminster Ponds. Down here, we've got Meadow Lily Woods here, which can take you all through these woods in hiking trails. You got Medway Valley Heritage Forest. This is a big one up here. This is an absolute beautiful nature area. And there's lots of deer in here. I can tell you that right now. So this is beautiful. No matter where you are in this city, you're pretty much close to some sort of nature nearby. So that's a really cool aspect of London. Con number one about moving to London. All right. Do me a favor. Look at this map. Okay. What is missing on this map? There's no highway in the city. There's no expressway, right? Like most communities, whether it's Hamilton or Kitchener or Toronto or even Windsor, they all have a highway right through the middle of the city to allow you to get back and forth pretty easily. London doesn't have that. So if you're traveling from here down to here, you're going to take Wonderland Road the entire way, and you're going to get stopped at lights constantly the entire way. And then when there's no light, there's still people like turning right, so you got to like slow down for them turning right. It takes forever to get across this city. You can literally take 50 minutes to an hour during rush hour to get from one side of the city to the other, which sucks, right? So It's not bad. Honestly, it's really not that bad most of the time. It's just 8:30 when you're going to work, or 5 o'clock when you're coming home, or if you just happen to be going to an event and you get stuck in some traffic. Like, it might take you, I don't know, 15 minutes to get from this area down to downtown if you want to go see a London Knights hockey game. But God forbid something's going on, there's some construction, or it just happens to be the wrong time of day and you get stuck in some traffic. Now it's taking you double. Now it's a 45-minute drive. That's a very frustrating aspect of living in London. Just keep that in mind. There's also certain bottlenecks through the city. So if you come out here to the Riverbend area, Oxford Road is the major thoroughfare here. And it's 2 lanes in each direction, plus turning lanes. Great, awesome. And then, oh no, now we're down to 1 lane in each direction over here. Still get a turning lane, but now we're 1 lane in each direction. That's not enough, okay? So that's a huge bottleneck. There's lots of those throughout the entire city. We'll talk about the economy and jobs in just a minute. But first, I mean, we got to talk about how there's cheaper housing in the London area compared to a lot of Ontario, okay? So, I mean, if you're in the GTA, it's going to be way cheaper down here. And trust me, you're going to get all the same amenities in London that you get everywhere else. We have some amazing entertainment options in London. We get major concerts. We get concert festivals. We get stuff for kids like the Factory, which is Canada's largest entertainment complex, and you can live nearby and it's cheaper. Let me show you actually how much houses cost in the city of London. So this is London right here. I'm going to scroll in to this neighborhood. This is Foxfield or Fox Hollow, some people call it. If I scroll in to Apple Rock, let's drop a pin here. This is probably a good street to show you the types of homes that you can get in the area. You can get homes anywhere from $850 to like $1 million, and they're all like 5 years old or less. Okay, so this guy right here, I mean, I'm just eyeballing it, looking at the size. This might be the type of home that sells for $850. It might be 1,800 square feet above grade. And if you don't know square feet, what that means is it's going to have probably 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms on the upper level, plus living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, all that on the main level. And who knows, maybe there's a finished basement in there too. As you scroll through, I mean, these are all kind of the same size. Let me see if I can find something bigger here. So if we go down to Medway Park Drive, like these are a bit bigger. And here you might be getting into the 900s or maybe even up to $1 million, depending on how nice it is inside. Is there a finished basement? All that kind of stuff. But this is really a dynamite area for families as well, because you're located close to everything. You got Walmart, Canadian Tire, I think you got Sport Check, Winners, all in this area. And then Masonville Mall right here, the main commercial area, is just down the road. And then you got stuff like this right here. This is new construction, never before lived in, okay? Tons of upgrades on the inside. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. This is listed right now on Shields for $1,099,000, okay? And this is right in that area. Never before lived in. You're over 2,500 square feet at this house. So now you've got 4 bedrooms on the main floor, or on the upper level. So lots of room in this. Beautiful homes. Now, if you're like Ryan, $1 million is not affordable. I can't afford that. Great point. Let's see what else we got in London. So if you come back out and you scroll into Byron right here, this is an area built up in the 1960s, but they have it's considered like a pretty premium area. Great schools, amazing parks, and forested parks and all sorts of different things nearby. There's a lot of side splits in this area. So let me see. Let's just drop a pin around here. So if we come in here, okay, so you get a few different things here. So this here is a side split. So is this here. These are the types of things you're going to find around the $600,000 to $700,000 range, okay? Obviously, this one comes with an attached garage, so it would be a little bit more than this one. But you're probably 1,500 square feet above grade with these ones. You're going to have 3 bedrooms, plus a couple bathrooms in this house. This level right here will have living room, kitchen, small dining room. Your bedrooms are going to be up here, and then there's going to be another living area down below grade as well. So something like this, you're $600,000 to $700,000. So I like to play a game called "What Would This Cost Where You're From?" Because I know I get people calling me from like Brampton or something, and they're like, "That home would be $1 million in my city," or whatever. You know what I mean? You can definitely get some of the ranches in this area more like 500,000 or 550. Again, it all depends just on the exact square footage. Is there a garage? Like this one has one in the back. And how updated is it inside? Because they are from the 1960s. So you will get homes a bit out of date, but that's roughly the price range they're going for. Also, just one more example for you. This house right here is a brand new townhome that I showed. I toured it on my channel. You can actually go watch that video. They're very nice inside. Right now, they're selling the inside units here for about $595,000 in pre-construction. So that gives you a rough idea of the pricing of homes in the London area. Con number 2 is the homeless problem. In contrast to what we just talked about in terms of housing being cheaper, we do have a large homeless population in London, and there is a lot of them doing drugs out in the open in the middle of the daylight, which is a problem. Now, here's the thing. I'll be fully honest with you. You're not going to see that in your neighborhood. Like the most you'll see, like if you live in like Oak Ridge right here, you're not going to see people doing drugs or homeless people walking down your street. You will see a guy at the corner of Oxford and Hyde Park with a sign that's asking for change at the red light, but you're not going to see people doing drugs out in the open, and you're not going to see a ton of homeless people. That's not true. What you will find is if you come downtown and you find Dundas Street, right here, and you follow Dundas Street down past Adelaide, right in this area. This is where there's some homeless shelters around this and a methadone clinic, and they all like to hang out right here by Lyle Street. This is like a big homeless hub, and you will see people doing drugs out in the open in this area, but it's not an area you're probably going to ever really be around. You know what I mean? Like you have no reason to be there. It's not a place where you're going to be in your leisure time driving around or walking around. So, I mean, that's where all that is. And then, of course, it's downtown. You'll see some homeless people like on a bench around here, around Victoria Park, right? But the biggest problem is down Dundas there, okay? So just to put that problem into perspective, we do have more homeless people than most communities, but the problems are over here in this area. They're not going to be in the suburbs where you're spending 99% of your life, okay? We're going to talk about the school districts on the way, which is a con, but it's kind of a pro and a con. But first, I want to talk about the economy here. And it's a funny time to be doing this because like we're in the middle of a recession here in Canada, right? Like it's been slow. There's a lot of people have hiring freezes. Despite that, London has a pretty resilient economy. So first off, you probably already know this is a white collar town. There's a lot of white collar jobs that aren't directly affected by a huge recession. For example, like the education system. Like we have University of Western Ontario here, which is one of the most respected universities in Canada. Like we're in the top 10 for sure. And then we have Fanshawe College, which employs a ton of people. Now these jobs typically aren't drastically affected by a recession. You might have somewhat of a slowdown at Fanshawe College, some programs shifting or shutting down. But for the most part, if you're a tenured professor at the university, like your job, you're sticking around. Like it's not changing just because there's a recession. And the same thing with London Health Science Centre. London Healthcare is our number one employer in this area. Whether it's nurses, it's doctors, it's admin staff, it's everything else at the hospitals. We've got 4 hospitals here. Victoria, we got the Children's Hospital, we got St. Joe's, and we have University Hospital. So in terms of that being our biggest employer, that's not something you just shut down because there's a recession. Sorry, we're firing all our doctors. It doesn't happen, okay? So because of that, there's still money circulating in our economy, whereas other areas like, say, Windsor, which is an economy I know very well down there as well, they, here in 2025, for a significant portion of it, they were the highest unemployment rate in Canada because the auto sector is down there. London doesn't have that. We also, you might find this interesting, we have a growing tech industry in London. Now, we're not quite as big as Waterloo for tech, but it is growing rapidly. We get a lot of video game companies opening up here, e-commerce companies opening up in London. It's kind of connected to the same ecosystem as Waterloo. So it's been an attractive spot for companies for a while. Just reading here, one of the biggest tech companies in London that opened up is Big Blue Bubble, which is an established video game developer with over 15 years of experience. So there you go. There's lots of different programming and tech jobs in London, and that is expected to increase in the years to come as well. I think we're all just waiting for the economy to kick back into shape here. And con number 3, this is the last point, and it is the school district. Now, that might sound funny because I've done videos in the past where I talk about how amazing the schools are in London. In fact, right now, the #1 elementary school in all of Ontario, or at least tied for #1, is located in London. It's Orchard Park Elementary. There's a lot of schools in London that are in the top 100 in Ontario. Out of 3,000 schools, they're in the top 100. It's pretty cool. That being said, they're all in expensive neighborhoods, and that is what I think is the con. If you go to the more... Here, let's pull up the map here. If you scroll into the more affordable neighborhoods down here in Glencairn, Pond Mills, Summerside, all in the east, almost every public school in that area has a rating out of 10 that is below average. The students are performing below average on province-wide testing. Now, if you ask teachers from those schools, they'll tell you it's not the school, it's not the teachers, it's not the principal, it's just some of the students from rougher neighborhoods in those areas bring down the average, which is probably true. But if you're somebody that looks at just the Fraser Institute number and you go, okay, I want a high number, I want an 8 out of 10 on the scale, like you're going to be spending over $900,000 to get into those neighborhoods. If you've got $500,000-$600,000, unless you're okay with a townhome, you're going to end up in a school district that is average at best in the London area. So that's something to consider. But on the positive note, we do have a lot of schools that are in the top of Ontario and even post-secondary. Of course, Western University over here is considered, where to go? Right here, is considered a top 10 university in Canada. They have a lot of great programs there. And of course, you have Fanshawe College as well for post-secondary. So anyway, those are your pros and cons about moving to the London area. If you need help figuring out, is this the right move for you? Is there a neighborhood that will serve your needs for the right price? Feel free to reach out to me. Me and my team, we love helping people, and we help people relocate to the London area constantly. Don't be afraid to reach out. Right there, that's my phone number. Just text those digits. Give me your name, tell me your goals, and we'll hop on a call and we'll see how I can help you. There's lots of videos on this channel all about London, like in-depth details, street-by-street basis about all the different neighborhoods. So if you need more info, feel free to go look through this channel and go on a binge-watching journey, okay? Thanks for watching.